describing how a young child took two empty tubs of Quaker oats and stuck a pencil through the middle to hold them together. He declared that these were his bongo drums and he was going to be a music star. He was right. Jackson, 1958 to 2009, from the Jackson 5 group through solo careers young and old to his final performance in This Is It, a posthumously released film based on rehearsals for the London concerts he was planning when he died at home in Los Angeles from an overdose of an anesthetic drug, allegedly administered by Dr. Conrad Murray, who's about to go on trial in LA for accidental killing. The boy with the homemade bongo drums was Michael Jackson. The story is told by his brother Jermaine, an original member of the Jackson 5, in his book, You Are Not Alone, Michael Through a Brother's Eyes. Jermaine Jackson, I suggested at the start of an extensive and combative interview, is attempting something very bold, arguing that almost everything that has previously been written about Michael Jackson, his abusive childhood, his relationships with young children, his eccentricities, addictions, health and death, is untrue.
Yes.
And you, to write the book, you had to go and read a lot of what has been written about him.
Well, I got a chance to go over a lot of the books that have been written that were just very disturbing because just to see the untruths and the lies and things that were just said that were not accurate at all.
If we go through some of those, because there are famous stories that have been told many times. For example, the story from childhood in which your father, Joseph, he puts this mask on and he comes to the outside of the bedroom and he frightens the boys, and people have made a lot of that. Now, you in the book, you say that it was the way your father is. That's how his sense of humor, that's what he was trying to do.
Yeah, well, there's masks that we all put on during Halloween and making people jump and things like that, but it wasn't anything to create torture or to do something like that. It was just a way of getting a laugh, really.
But your late brother Michael, he told Oprah Winfrey, he told other interviews that he was terrified of your father.
Yeah, well, he would say that because he was young and he didn't understand. If someone's young and they don't understand why they're being disciplined, then of course they're going to be scared. They're going to be this way or that way. But the bottom line, I understood it from being older, and I'm just four years older than Michael. If someone's young and they don't understand why they're being disciplined, then of course they're going to be scared. They're going to be this way or that way. But the bottom line, I understood it from being older, and I'm just four years older than Michael. If it wasn't because of my father, we wouldn't have came out to be the people that we became.
But to make this clear, because as you say, there are going to be films and biographies about your brother forever, for as long as there are films and biographies, and many people take this line that he had a deeply unhappy childhood, that it was abusive, it was unhappy, and that it damaged him. He was damaged by it. But you don't believe that?
No. Michael's childhood wasn't damaged because of my father. Michael's childhood wasn't damaged at all. Michael didn't have a childhood because of him being on stage and learning. Michael was singing since he was 4.
You say in the book that a lot of the people who've written and spoken about your family, about your brother, they see the worst in everything. They're too unkind. Is it possible that you've gone the other way, that you're too kind, that you see the best in every story?
No. What people saw was manipulated by the press and by the media, and they're not going to say nothing good because their whole thing is to create papers, sales, ratings, this and that. We know this because we've seen it happen too many times. I was doing a live feed from Bahrain on Larry King's show, and all of a sudden Larry stopped me and said, Jermaine, who are all the people around you? And I said, these are members from the royal family. And he said, well, we have a problem. I said, well, what's the problem? He said, my producer feels that if we show them, then our viewers are going to want to know how they feel about how the soldiers were treated in Iraq. So I said, Larry, what does that got to do with my brother? But the key word is my producer. See, they're sitting here and they're producing a lot of crap and propaganda that has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
I'm not going to blame my producer. I've read the book, and I'm going through what I've read in the book. But, for example, when you do as you have to in detail with the allegations of child abuse, clearly the fact that your brother would share his bed with young children, that was unwise, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't unwise, and I'm going to tell you why. What more can you do for someone by giving them your bed? He slept on the floor, but still, when you look at it, the adults are looking at Michael through adult eyes. Michael's looking at children through a child's eyes because of him not having a childhood. My kids traveled with Michael. Many kids traveled with Michael to prove the point right. The kid who came out after Michael's death and said Michael never touched him. See, the world is sick today. They look at things the wrong way. Why do you have to relate the bed with sex? I love young things. I'm learning how to water paint. I'm learning how to paint with my fingers now. I'm around children all the time. My kids and their kids come over. But what's the problem?
Would you share a bed with somebody else's young child, or want somebody else to share a bed with your young children?
If I know them very, very well, yes. But the fact that the intentions are good. There's nothing hidden. And I'll tell you, after this happened, the kid finally came out and said, after his passing, that he never touched him. And after that, the father kills himself. And
you're talking here about the Geordie Chandler case.
And they wanted money. They wanted money. And then people said, oh, Michael was guilty because he paid him off.
Well, I was going to raise this. A lot of people raise this, as you know. Why did your brother and his lawyers pay so much money to the family of Geordie Chandler? Millions and millions of dollars.
Why did they want so much money? Why did they want so much money? Not only that, if someone really abused your child, would you want money or would you want justice? It's all a lie. They showed what they wanted all along. And not only that, you know why he paid it? He was on tour. He was in the middle of a lot of new videos and excitement. He did not want them to do what they did to him later, handcuffing him and showing the world